People are asking us to follow the program and please them at our own expense, left and right. Like that's the dominant paradigm that we live in. This is why we live in a community of people pleasers. It's not the selling out that has happened because we've been told to sell out by the outside. It's the selling out that we've internalized, that we've convinced ourselves is required. And it's like, it's incredibly painful to live that way, to live as not ourselves. And at the same time, it's terrifying for most of us to actually like let ourselves be seen as the full truth of who we are. Y'all, selling out isn't just what the mainstream demands. We do it to ourselves when we believe we have to choose between a business that thrives and a business we love. When we believe we have to give up fun in order to be successful. And when our practicality drives out our authenticity. This is not theoretical. This is everyone you know. This is everyone I know. This is all of us navigating this challenge. These days, my work with clients is so much about supporting them in being exactly who they are. And I want to finish that sentence by saying at all costs. But the reality is that thing, when they show up as exactly who they are, that's what makes bank. Because they thrive if they give themselves permission to do it on their terms and they quit otherwise. And in the context of the work that's actually working, it's so esoteric. It's so edgy to live that full on, unapologetically as yourself requires a level of faith that will work that is really, really, really scary for people. I don't believe anyone else is doing what I'm doing in this way. I'm renouncing formulas, I'm renouncing scripts. And in the process, what's happening is deeply humanizing and deeply sustainable and truly worthy of our attention and our work. My friend and coach, Rha Goddess, recently said this to me. Most people are in the throes of success, believing they are failing. Right? It's like, whoa. Imagine what would be true if you believed that quote. For those people for whom that's true, they need clarity about the true context that their work is happening in. You need true context for the work that you're doing in order to sustain yourself, because otherwise you'll give up. There's a dilemma in our faith as spiritual folks, as conscious folks, as religious folks, because this dilemma is the same in my experience with Christians and yogis. It doesn't actually matter the name of our approach to relating to God. There is a theme right now, very contemporarily focusing right now in this time in 2022, where we're examining what it means to spiritually bypass. Because we've learned it's essential to acknowledge our grief, our anger, our trauma. We can't cover that up. We can't meditate or pray our way through it. We can't just say, well, it was all by God's design, and then be done. And if in fact our faith is exclusively based on creating relief in the form of some kind of escape, we're not going deeper. We're creating blind spots. It seems obvious, but it's really showing up in all of us. The way that things hide out for us now in our spiritual lives requires us to be extremely vigilant and to actually get in there with a flashlight and a magnifying glass and hunt for the traps that are hiding out in the corners of our faith. Selling out is like not a thing that people are saying now in the way that they used to, at least in my life. But the principle, the concept is like so deeply embedded. It's in my bones. And I think it's in my generation's bones. The anathema, the aversion to that concept, to being one who sells out, to being one who is accused of selling out. And what I would say now is that the definition of selling out is really about giving up the essence of the thing, giving up the thing that actually matters, giving up the core value in exchange for money. giving up the core value. I love that that's how that came out, because it's like the core value of the thing, but it's also your core values. Whoever you are, like you are a sellout if your core values have been thrown to the wayside in order for you to be successful, make money, yada, yada. As a little side note, part of what's so cool about this is that I really feel like we have examples these days in really circling Oprah. I will say, I feel like Oprah is like standing in the center of this whole community of thought leaders who are not selling out. They are holding their vision and they are thriving. It's why almost everyone that I know would like to be on Oprah, because they recognize they're not selling out and they're thriving. There's like a sweet spot that's happening there. And I want to be in that circle. The reason that this has been on my mind lately is because I was in a mastermind recently. And one of the themes that came up in the room, what do I have to sacrifice in order to be successful? What do I have to give up in order to be successful? What have I already given up in order to create success? And how deeply unsatisfying that has been. And like at different points along the journey, really felt to me like the theme of this particular room was, you don't have to sell out. In fact, selling out doesn't work. Your core values are the most important thing. The core value of your service, the core value of the essence of what matters to you, whatever it is that you're bringing into the world, that is the thing. That's the one thing you can't sacrifice, actually. From the very beginning of my business, I said I was teaching people how to make money with no trade-offs, no compromise, and no mediocrity. And that trade-offs piece was really what I was talking about, compromise too. I mean, frankly, the whole thing, come on, that's just like all three of those phrases are like, without selling out, you don't have to sell out. In fact, you can't, you cannot. And back to this mastermind, part of, I think, what was so vulnerable and scary for this group, each individually, is that we've been told our whole lives that you can't possibly be who you are exactly as you are and be accepted, welcomed, supported, celebrated. And this is not just about visibility. It is about visibility, but it's about something else. It's really about believing that that thing that we are can be the thing, that we can have what we want. It's such a cliche because people say it so often, but this is like the most vulnerable thing that I see people do, to really let themselves understand and feel and experience, not just theoretically, but actually that they can have what they want as themselves. Part of why this feels so risky and edgy for my clients and my community, at least, is because the truth of who we are is pretty fucking weird. There is also like the practical nature that it's bumping up against our worthiness. Like, do I get to be myself? Do I get to receive as myself? But the thing that I'm, it's not that I'm poo-pooing that, but I'm kind of poo-pooing that because that stuff's just like regular mindset work. Like everyone who's ever done any exponential growth work has done that work, has had to work on, am I worthy? Can I receive? What does it mean to put myself out there and be rejected? All that stuff. But I'm telling you right now, you can do all that stuff and still sacrifice the essence of who you are. It's shocking, I know, but this is what's happening. Like there is a mass awakening happening right now where hundreds, thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people who have done that work, who have done the mindset work, are now waking up and realizing like, wait, but I'm still not actually being the full truth of who I am. If I really thought I could be successful, no matter what, if I really thought I could get paid well, no matter what I did, if I really thought I could serve humanity powerfully, no matter what, I would be doing something different than I'm doing. Or I would be doing it a very different way than I'm doing it. I think that part of what's so powerful, when I heard this quote the first time, there was a room full of people and we all just were like punched in the gut, like this little silent, but audible silence of like the like breathless exhale. It was like, whoa, it hit home for everyone in the room. Most people are in the throes of success, believing they are failing. I mean, for me, I'm like, I know that I'm successful, and I still have this voice inside my head that's like, you're not doing enough. You should be further along. You should be making more money, helping more people, have more followers, yada, yada, yada. Just like constantly like, and I think I'm like pretty excellent at managing that voice, but make no mistake, that voice is rocking, it's still there. And so I know that to be true of me right this second. There's also this teaching that in the moments when we feel like everything is ruined and we should quit, those are the moments that we are the closest to the breakthrough. Very interesting. I've been hearing that from, this is a universal teaching. I heard this from 25 different teachers in different contexts. But this also just came up recently when I was preparing to give birth. And this is also the universal in labor. I heard this from 25 women and doctors and practitioners, right? Like about labor, that the moment that mama in labor is like, I fucking can't keep going, that's seconds before a baby comes out. So this is like a very organic human principle that also shows up in business, in mindset, in personal development, in spiritual development. It's like our subconscious is brilliant at getting us to stop because it is trying to protect us from the mystery that is inevitable when we grow. So when we're the closest to the breakthrough, the subconscious pulls out all the stops, is like, halt everything. And so you can actually learn to see your fear, your doubt, your worry, your expectation of failure, your evidence of failure as just subconscious programming designed to get you to slow down or quit altogether. But there's one more piece of this, which is how many people I have seen, clients, my community, and even myself in past moments, completely missing, like unable to see ourselves. And it's heartbreaking for like me on the outside when I'm coaching clients who are going through moments like this. It can be heartbreaking because I'm like, can you not see yourself? Do you not realize how brilliant and incredible everything you've done? Like what, how do I get eyeballs to put on other parts of your body so you can see what the hell is going on? Like, give me a camera so I can film you and show it to you so you can see. As a culture, we've been trained not to see all kinds of things, but especially ourselves. So it's cuts deep because we harm ourselves in the lies that we tell about what we're doing. This is why celebration is so revolutionary. And I think it's why the quote literally on its own is so powerful, why the quote just on its own is a lifeline. Because if you hear the quote, most people are in the throes of success, believing that they're failing, and you just try it on for yourself in this moment. Okay. Do I think I'm failing anywhere or almost failing anywhere? Yeah, guarantee you can find a spot. What if actually that place where I feel like I'm failing is the throes of success? What would that mean? Could that be possible? That interrogation, that's the fucking game changer. Instantaneously. It's like, I feel some like action, movie from 2040, even more advanced than now, like does some amazing like perspective shift, it makes you feel like you've just been on a roller coaster. Like that's what the quote does.